Yo, what's up, family? Hey guys, I wanted to go through a technique with you. Excuse my ashy hands. I've been working with sheetrock all day. Um, so let's say you get the regular old school eagle claw. It could be the 32nd ounce or the 16th ounce, like this one right here. So what we normally do is, back in the day, my old technique was just like yours. I would get buy the jig hook that matched the jig. So you buy a little bobby garland share with that, and it pairs well, and you slide it on like this right here. Stick it in there. Keep your bait as straight as possible. Right there. And you're going to push it all the way to the front over this collar. See this right here? See if I can get something to point at. See this part of the jig right here? All of that point right there, that little neck piece, that's the collar. So we're going to push the jig over the collar. Now we got a little jig going right here. We got us a sac-a-lay jig right here. And you can fish with that for a while. But eventually, how sac-a-lay, they sucking power is so strong that when they engulf it, they'll actually engulf it forward, but the jig turns in their mouth. And it ends up like this in their mouth. And the suction power is so strong, after a while, this jig tears up and pulls off. And that's why you end up missing a fish, because this right here, the jig slides in front of the hook. Now, some of y'all keep sliding that jig back on top of there, and when another fish hit it, it slides again, and you keep missing a fish because the jig slides in front of the hook. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do some old school stuff right here. I'm going to pause the video and come back. First, before we do that, we're going to get rid of this collar. Now, how you get rid of it? You could use fingernail clippers. You can use anything sharp. So what I usually use is just something sharp enough to clamp around the neck right here, all the way at the front, just like that right there. We're gonna slide that collar off of there. Slide him off. So I'm gonna have to keep clipping it. See how it stops right there at that bend? We're just gonna cut until he comes off. Keep cutting. There we go. A little bit more. It's nothing but little aluminum heads that almost hit me in the face. So we want that jig to look just like that. We want it to be a little bit more naked right there. You see that? Now you don't have a collar. So we're not done yet, y'all. Also, this hook shank, this is the hook shank. This is the barb of the hook right here. See this barb right here on the hook? You want it to be higher than the eye. And this one is. I ain't gonna even lie to you, it is. But I want it just a little bit more. So I'm gonna use my hand, pull it up. Now look at it. Now it's pointing like this at a better angle. That way when you hit a fish and he closes his mouth, you have a better chance of hooking him, because the hook's pointing upward. Anyway, so check this out. Old school technique, guys. Let's get some dental floss going. And we have right here just some Glide dental floss. Get the one with no smell, just like the wax. Don't get the one with like mint and all of that stuff. So we're gonna pull out about that much. And what we're gonna do is pay attention to my hand. You probably might need to watch this video a while. See my little tag in right here? We're gonna keep that tag in and hold the hook right there, and we're gonna start wrapping like we tying a jig. The only thing that I'm missing from this video is, so we all the way to the front wrapping. Let's wrap to the back. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it all the way to the back now. Gotta excuse my big hands taking up all the video. Bam, just like that. You don't have to go too far. So now what we're gonna do is, since we got our jig wrapped up, we're gonna tie a granny knot, maybe one or two of them. Kind of frustrating at first, trust me, especially when you got big old sausage fingers like mine. So let's just try to tie a granny knot here. There we go. One piece through right there, one through right there, and one granny knot in. And while that's done, let's tie another granny knot. We want it to hold. Hold it. Just like that. Tie another granny knot. That'll hold it a little bit better, right? Cool. So what we're going to do, we have 2 tag ends. Now we're going to clip them. Let's clip them. I got scissors around here somewhere. Maybe I should use my brain and just clip them with the scissors. Like this right here. There we go. I almost clipped my damn thing off right there. So now look what we got, y'all. We cut that collar off. And we got some floss right here. Now what is that floss gonna do? I'm gonna show you what that floss is gonna do. I'm gonna just use any jig right here. I don't want to waste none of my good jigs, even though all of them are good. This is what it's gonna do. That jig is also a little long. I'm gonna sneak in another technique right quick while I have y'all attention. See these crappie magnets right here? These some deadly little baits. It's about 2 inches, but when I finish with it, it'll be about 1.5 inches. Check this out. I'm gonna come here. It's something about these that I love cutting down. You see these little ribs on it? You see those ribs? I'm gonna cut 1 rib off the front side. Just like that. And I'm gonna cut 3 ribs off the back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. And already I've made that jig smaller, and I've made it more pleasing to a fish. So the next step and the final step would be to take super glue and super glue this floss right here. I don't have my super glue on me right now, so I can't do it, but just remember that once you super glue your floss right there, hurry up and slide your jig on. Always keep your jig straight. You're trying to go straight through. You want to go straight through the middle right there. Right? You want to go straight through the middle right here. Right there. And you want to go straight all the way through the back. See how it came out the back end? Bust that jig open for y'all right quick. See that? It came straight out the back end. So if I had super glue on there, I would slide it all the way up. Make sure that jig is straight. And check that out. That is a beautiful little setup right there, y'all. That is a beautiful little setup. It would dry like that. I would let it sit overnight. And what it does is it allows you to catch more fish without that jig slipping in front of the hook. You know what I'm saying? That's a technique I got from some anglers, some of the guys that I fish with. I've also seen this technique used by Richard Jean, the fishing machine. It's just one of many that you could use. You know what I'm saying? It's so many advantages that you could use doing stuff like this, man. And it helps so much, especially when you're fishing with Bobby Garland shads, because Bobby Garland shads slip off so much. And even when you paying for stuff like a panfish assassin, these are very expensive. I'm talking about $5.99 in some stores. So you don't want to keep having your jig slipping and tearing up with fish when you can just, like I said, super glue here, super glue your threads. And I'm going to show you how this panfish assassin looks right quick. And sometimes what I do is I'm going to sneak in another technique. This is panfish assassin. The color is called baby bass. It's probably one of the top effective baits I ever used. See how it's kind of pointy on the end? You could use it like that and it's fine, but I find myself cutting about an 1/8 of an inch off sometimes. That way, the base sits better on the back of that 1/16 ounce jig head. I'm gonna show you what I mean right now. So I would have my super glue on my hook shank. I'll find the middle of the jig, slide it down. You want to keep it straight. Saccolade don't hit it if it's not straight. Just like that. Just like that. Now look at that little pretty ass thing right there. Check that out. I wouldn't want to lose that and have that slipping every time a saccolade hit. The profile is real small. It'll be super glued tight on there. It's straight. It's not crooked. Man, listen to your boy, Jig Pole Shorty, man. Look, I might put this on Facebook for y'all, but make sure you go to my YouTube channel, man. The Adventures of Jig Quote Shorty. And my TikTok, I have a lot of little techniques like this that I could show you. And it's the reason why I'm out there and I'm catching a lot more fish. And some people are not, you know what I'm saying? So listen to your dog, man. Holla at me.